So when I was helping somebody at lunch the other day, this was kind of I know for anytime you're selling anything, right? You're always interested in kind of two things, right? You're interested in obviously the amount of money that you're going to make, right? And how do you make money?
By selling things.
By selling things, right? So you're going to have two, like typically these questions are always going to kind of, they're going to tell you information about two things, right? They're going to tell you what happens when I manipulate the amount of money.
Yeah.
And what happens to the number of whatever it is I'm selling, right? Those are the two things. You're always going to write two statements, right? One of which is going to be about money, right? And the other one is going to be about the number of something, right? So in this question, and this is good, this goes for all of maximum revenue and anything revenue questions, right? Or costs. You could do costs too, right? So, because like anytime, if it's a cost question, we want to minimize. So you're still going to complete the square, right? To maximize or minimize. So, so I know here, okay, so an artisan sells 120 garden ornaments per week at $4 per ornament, right? So for each 50-cent decrease in price, he can sell 20 more ornaments. Okay, so before I even read A, I'm thinking in my head, okay, well, I got to extract information here, right? So I like the dollar, like I like starting with the numbers first. So I see here, okay, 120, right? He's going to start with 120. And then what's going to happen?
Well, I just want to write down the... Okay, so he has 120.
Well, he typically sells 120. But now he asks himself, okay, well, what if I want to sell more, right? So if I want to sell more of something, I'm probably going to decrease the price, right? So, like, how far do I have to decrease the price? This is like, in order to make more money, ultimately, right? Because if you sell more, you're probably going to make more money to a certain extent. Unless it's like, you're not going to make any money, obviously, if he sells these things for 10 cents, right? But there's a balance here, and that's what the vertex is. It's like it's the optimal value, right? That you can sell the number of something for a certain price, sort of thing, to maximize the amount of money that you're going to make. That's the idea of these questions, right? Yeah. So you have another sticky piece of information here, right? And it's the fact that every time he's going to decrease the price by 50 cents, right? So I'm going to say let X represent the number of 50-cent decreases. You okay with that? So every time he's just like, you're just gonna let X represent that. So forget about the fact that it's 50, right? It's just a number. Like X is representing the fact that it's 50 cents. Does that make sense? So forget about
let X represent the 50-cent price drop.
Yeah, the number of them, right? So if I decrease the price twice, then I've decreased the price by $1. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just forget about the fact that it's 50 cents. That's not going to affect your equation. You're going to substitute X in for the 50-cent thing, right? So the number of them.
Yeah.
So you're not actually going to see the 50-cent thing appear anywhere. Oh, that's a lie. Because it's talking about money, obviously. So it has to appear in the money piece, but not the dollar or the number of, right? So the number of something is going to decrease, right? Is it decrease or increase? What's the idea?
It decreases.
The cost decreases, but
cost decreases
if he decreases,
number
increases, right? So I'm going to go plus. He can sell 20 more ornaments if he decreases the price by 50 cents once. So it's 20X. Okay. So that makes sense then, right? So the number is going to increase if I decrease by 50 cents, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now here's the other catch. Okay, so he's starting at $4, and what's happening? I'm decreasing the price, right?
Yeah.
Well, how many times? You don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
That's so. But how much are you decreasing by?
50 cents.
Okay, so then just goes minus 0.50 x.
So,
That make sense?
yeah.
So like, you're using the x as kind of it's a pivot point.
Yeah.
It's the number of 50-cent decreases. So now what do you think we're gonna do? What's the question's kind of like? Okay, well, I guess we haven't read part A. Determine the algebraic expressions for the price. Yeah, so we already did
Can we
that.
foil these?
Yeah, exactly. And then what?
For...
So this is actually part A. We actually did part A here, which is
so-
good because it just wanted the expressions to represent what was going on.
Mhm.
And then now you want an expression. Part B is like, give me an algebraic expression that represents the revenue, right? Which is exactly what you said. I'm going to multiply because revenue, what's revenue? Or like the amount of money. How do we make money? We already answered
selling
this.
stuff.
Exactly, right? So that's obviously going to be the amount of money that we're charging for something multiplied by how many of them we sell, right? Well, those are the two equations we just came up with, which is exactly what you said, right? So revenue is equal to, you're going to go 4 minus 0.5x multiplied by 120 plus 20x. Right? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. There's nothing fancy going on there. Yeah, that's just revenue, right? So you could say, okay, well, I could plug any value of x in there. It's going to give me an amount of money. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's the maximum revenue, right?
Yeah.
You could answer any question. Well, what if I what if I decreased the price 3 times, right?
Yeah.
You'd get how much money you made. If I decreased it 40 times, you'd get how much money you made, right? Mm-hmm. That's just a revenue equation. Now, the next one's probably going to ask me something about maximize the revenue.
Complete the square.
Complete the square.
So we have to FOIL this. So, 4 times 120. 480.
Expand and complete the square. You got 480? You got 480, right? 480 plus 80x minus 60x minus 10x squared. Okay. I'm going to show you a little check too, just before, because sometimes you can do all this work and then it can turn out to be wrong because you forgot something, right? So it's important, and I'll show you this. So I'm just going to rewrite these in descending order. It's going to be negative 10x squared plus 20x plus 480. Now, okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what I got, right? Now, I'm answering a question about maximum, right? Mm-hmm. So what must be true about the parabola if it's a maximum?
It has to be negative.
What has to be negative? Could you jump the step?
The parabola has to be.
Yeah, so it's opening down.
It's opening down.
So how do I know if a parabola is opening down or up?
If it's up, it has a minimum. If it's down, it has a maximum.
Yes, but specifically from the equation.
Oh, negative A.
The A value has to be positive or negative, right?
Yeah.
So in this question, I'm answering about maximum, right? So I know in order for it to have a maximum, it has to be opening down.
Yeah.
So my A value better be negative. If you get to this stage and you're answering a max question and this is not negative,
You've done something.
you've done
wrong.
something wrong, right? And then it doesn't matter if you do the completing the square perfectly, you're not going to get the right answer. But this is good. I know this is okay so far, right? Because I got a negative 10x squared, right? Good. So now we can complete the square,
Yeah.
right? A value has to be 1, so start with that, and then work your way down. I always do that. You don't need to. When I got taught this, it was always factor out the everything. You don't need to do that. Yeah. It's just a bad habit. Like, it's hard to shake it when you get taught it once.
Okay, so. What'd you get?
1 and 490. Good. Okay, so write me the vertex. Okay, there's one more thing to this that we have to, and this kind of stumps kids sometimes too, I think. So, first of all, I guess my first question is, what's the maximum revenue?
490.
Okay, so the maximum revenue
Yeah.
is 490. Now, without reading this question, because I know some of these questions and the styles, it may ask you what the new price is. Right?
Yeah.
So it may say, okay, well, okay, fine. $490 is the max revenue. But at what price do I have to sell these ornaments in order to maximize that?
Looks like you have to pay people to take them.
Pay people. Okay.
Wait, no. So, for you to go from $4 to $490, it would have to be, so like, how many times does 0.5 go into 490?
Okay, hold on. Be careful, okay?
Okay.
I have, so this is where this is kind of important here, this let statement. Because what does X represent?
Oh, the thing increase and the price drop.
Yeah. So if I take, this is just a vertex. This is telling me information about the number of times I have to decrease the price, right? So I wrote something up here, and so did you. How much each ornament's going to sell for, right? Well, each ornament sells for $4, but then minus the 50 cents, right? Well, how many times did I subtract 50 cents in order to maximize the revenue? Once, right? So that means that I went $4 minus 0.5 times x, but x was equal to 1. Right? So that means now I can write a therefore, like a full therefore statement. So I could say like, therefore, when I sell, or he sells, I sell ornaments. Ooh, it's a good word. I don't know how to spell that. Ornaments for $3.50. My I could say I maximize the revenue. I maximize you and make $490. Okay?
Yeah.
So again, it just comes down, these are the same, you will see if we do